Hello and welcome to the fourth in a series of videos about the JBoss EAP 7 migration. My name is Brian Randell and I work for C2B2, an independent middleware consultancy. In this video, we're going to be looking to the future. As part of our what stack, it's then what happens once we've migrated to EAP 7. Where does the future lie? What's happening in the industry? So I think there's four main industry trends that is going on at the moment. The first is cloud, of course. A lot of companies are now wanting the ability to reduce their overheads of managing their own infrastructure and abstracting that out to the cloud, where they can save lots of time and cost by using a platform service. Abstracting that hardware away and deploying directly onto the cloud infrastructure. And moving to cloud-delivered software-based services as well. And that could integrate with our own applications. And potentially also architecting native cloud apps that make full use of the cloud stacks that are out there. Automation is another key driver moving forward. You'll probably have heard DevOps, continuous delivery, agile as words that are buzzwords now in the industry. But everything is now being scripted. Everything needs to be done at the touch of a button. The sooner the better, the quicker the better. DevOps really helps with that, providing you a quick interface and a quick continuous delivery and integration from development to deployment. And methods of agile. Let's work for a faster deployment, a more prioritized deployment, and let's make changes more rapid, more fast, more flexible. Let's work to the priority of the users. Let's work to the needs of the features that are required. The third one is containers. Containers allow us to deploy small applications fast and at scale, lends itself to microservices. Because we can scale the containers up, we can flex when there's more demand, we can have more containers, we can have more services to offer, and we can flex down as well when there's less demand. We can scale them down. That of course needs a whole orchestration layer to be able to create and flex and do all that kind of work. But containers, the ability to deploy small applications quickly and efficiently and effectively is becoming more prevalent in the industry, as well as is integration. A lot of the application we're using now are integrating with all the other applications that we have, mostly through API layers. And that whole service-oriented architecture that is used to do this with our enterprise patterns to move things. We can look at an application and request information from it, utilize that information and send that off to another application. This is all part of what's going on with the Internet of Things. It's all part of what's happening in the industry. The need for moving to the cloud, automating everything, putting things into smaller bits and perhaps even containers, and integrating them all together. It's where the future is. And some of the tools and applications that we can utilize within those sections, we know the main players within cloud are Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud's coming up and being more prevalent now. Of course, in our Red Hat world, there's the OpenShift platform, which is now using Docker pods. We've also got OpenStack. We can do private clouds and cloud forms that can manage those. So Red Hat has a lot of offerings there. In terms of the automation layer, Ansible is a product that we can manage the estate with our Ansible towers. And of course, you can also use Chef and Puppet for that as well. And as part of our management layer of those and continuous delivery, we can utilize Jenkins and Bamboo as two of the options. There are obviously a lot of options in this space, and types of methodologies that you could utilize there come under the Agile banner, where Scrum and Kanban are common ones used, just to make things more agile and quick, and to prioritize the delivery slots and have more shorter fixed time periods for deployment and delivery. For integration, I've thoroughly listed JBoss Fuse. I mean, there are others on much different platforms, but JBoss Fuse is the Red Hat offering, and of course it's based on Camel, and there are other ones that are based on Camel, Apache Service Mix, for example. But JBoss Fuse is the only one I think that's worth listing for Red Hat people in there. And for containers, of course, Docker is the main player for containers, and the orchestration services with Dockers, you've got Kubernetes, which is quite commonly used. Docker's now provided a Docker Swarm, and Amazon and Azure have their own container services that can be used for those as well. And it's worth mentioning in this section, we've already mentioned OpenShift, and I put it in here as well because it is using containers in its pods. It uses Docker there. But Wildfly Swarm is worth mentioning because it reduces the runtime of Wildfly into a very small footprint jar and can provide microservices very easily. And so it's worth having that, because if we're going to go through microservices type infrastructure, then Wildfly Swarm is one worth looking out for. And that was a very quick look at the future and a vision for that. Well, this is the last of our 4 videos in the Red Hat JBoss EAP 7 migration. They've been very high level, and I've skipped through quite a lot. Hopefully they'll provide some thoughts and provoke some ideas, and where JBoss and Middleware are likely to be heading moving forward. My name is Brian Randell. I thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you next time.